Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of waiting, remaining inactive in one place while expecting something. The wait was an ordeal for him. Look forward to the probable occurrence of. He is waiting to be drafted. Time during which some action is awaited. Wait before acting. Serve as a waiter or waitress in a restaurant. I'm waiting on tables at Maxim's. Stay in one place and anticipate or expect something. I had to wait online for an hour to get the tickets. Being and remaining ready and available for use. Waiting cars and limousines lined the curb. The act of waiting, remaining inactive in one place while expecting something. Look forward to the probable occurrence of. Regard something as probable or likely. The meteorologists are expecting rain for tomorrow. Consider obligatory. Request and expect. I expect my students to arrive in time for their lessons. Look forward to the probable occurrence of. We were expecting a visit from our relatives. Be pregnant with. They are expecting another child in January. Consider reasonable or due. I'm expecting a full explanation as to why these files were destroyed. Look forward to the birth of a child. She is expecting in March. Take charge of or deal with. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. Have faith or confidence in. Give a certain impression or have a certain outward aspect. This project looks fishy. Look forward to the probable occurrence of. She is looking to a promotion. The feelings expressed on a person's face. A look of triumph. Be oriented in a certain direction, often with respect to another reference point, be opposite to. The house looks north. Search or seek. We looked all day and finally found the child in the forest. The act of directing the eyes toward something and perceiving it visually. He went out to have a look. Accord in appearance with. You don't look your age. Convey by one's expression. She looked her devotion to me. Have a certain outward or facial expression. How does she look? Perceive with attention. Direct one's gaze towards. She looked over the expanse of land. Physical appearance. I don't like the looks of this place. Cause to be slowed down or delayed. Traffic was delayed by the bad weather. Time during which some action is awaited. Instant replay caused too long a delay. Slow the growth or development of. The act of delaying. Inactivity resulting in something being put off until a later time. Stop or halt. Act later than planned, scheduled, or required. Don't delay your application to graduate school or else it won't be considered. Be capable of holding or containing. The flask holds 1 gallon. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. This theory holds for all irrational numbers. Have or possess, either in a concrete or an abstract sense. She holds a master's degree from Harvard. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. The beam holds up the roof. Resist or confront with resistance. A state of being confined, usually for a short time. The prisoner is on hold. Lessen the intensity of. Temper. Hold in restraint. Hold or keep within limits. Hold your tongue. Drink alcohol without showing ill effects. He can hold his liquor. Cause to stop. Have room for. Hold without crowding. The auditorium can't hold more than 500 people. Time during which some action is awaited. He ordered a hold in the action. Have or hold in one's hands or grip. A crazy idea took hold of him. Organize or be responsible for. Hold a reception. The appendage to an object that is designed to be held in order to use or move it. Be valid, applicable, or true. This theory still holds. Protect against a challenge or attack. Maintain, a theory, thoughts, or feelings. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. This holds the local until the express passengers change trains. Keep in mind or convey as a conviction or view. Hold these truths to be self-evident. The space in a ship or aircraft for storing cargo. Have rightfully. Of rights, titles, and offices. Contain or hold. Have within. The canteen holds fresh water. Bind by an obligation. Cause to be indebted. I'll hold you by your promise. A cell in a jail or prison. Be in accord. Be in agreement. I hold with those who say life is sacred. The act of grasping. She kept a firm hold on the railing. Secure and keep for possible future use or application. Cause to continue in a certain state, position, or activity. E.g., keep clean. Hold in place. Support or hold in a certain manner. She holds her head high. Declare to be. Understanding of the nature or meaning or quality or magnitude of something. Arrange for and reserve something for someone else, in advance. Please hold a table at Maxim's. Aim, point, or direct. Assert or affirm. Rousseau's philosophy holds that people are inherently good. A stronghold. Cover as for protection against noise or smell. Hold one's nose. Have as a major characteristic. The novel holds many surprises. Hold the attention of. She can hold an audience spellbound. Keep from departing. Keep from exhaling or expelling. Hold your breath. Power by which something or someone is affected or dominated. He has a hold over them. Remain committed to. I hold to these ideas. Remain in a certain state, position, or condition. Stop dealing with. Hold all calls to the President's office while he is in a meeting. Take and maintain control over, often by violent means. Act of putting off to a future time. Time during which some action is awaited. Time during which some action is awaited. Refrain from doing. Prevent the action or expression of. Hold back your anger. Hold back. Keep from being perceived by others. Wait before acting. Secure and keep for possible future use or application. Hold back, as of a danger or an enemy. Check the expansion or influence of. Wait before acting. Resist and fight to a standoff. Serve as a waiter or waitress in a restaurant. A woman waiter. A disposition to remain inactive or inert. The state of being inactive. Being inactive. Being less active. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. The telephone is an annoying interruption. An interruption in the intensity or amount of something. A mechanical system of springs or shock absorbers connecting the wheels and axles to the chassis of a wheeled vehicle. A temporary debarment, from a privilege or position, etc. Temporary cessation or suspension. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. The act of suspending something, hanging it from above so it moves freely. A mixture in which fine particles are suspended in a fluid where they are supported by buoyancy. Interrupt temporarily an activity before continuing. The speaker pause. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Cease an action temporarily. We pause for station identification. Temporary inactivity. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. The act of suspending activity temporarily. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known of news. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a whole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change directions suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. pierce or penetrate, render inoperable or ineffective, scatter or part, separate from a clinch, in boxing, the occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. He acted the idiot. Behave unnaturally or affectedly. She's just acting. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document codifying the result of deliberations of a committee or society or legislative body. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. Think before you act. A short performance that is part of a longer program. He did his act 3 times every evening. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. How does your idea work in practice? Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior, conduct or comport oneself. You should act like an adult. Play a role or part. She wants to act Lady Macbeth, but she is too young for the role. A manifestation of insincerity. He put on quite an act for her benefit. A subdivision of a play or opera or ballet. Be engaged in an activity, often for no particular purpose other than pleasure. Be suitable for theatrical performance. This scene acts well. Discharge one's duties. She acts as the chair. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally, in a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help. Make uniform. Work the clay until it is soft. Perform as expected when applied. This old radio doesn't work anymore. Be employed. Is your husband working again? Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject, especially by reading. Mastering a second language requires a lot of work. Have and exert influence or effect. The artist's work influenced the young painter. Make something, usually for a specific function. Cause to happen or to occur as a consequence. I cannot work a miracle. The occupation for which you are paid. A lot of people are out of work. Cause to work. He is working his servants hard. Find the solution to a problem or question, or understand the meaning of. This unpleasant situation isn't going to work itself out. A product produced or accomplished through the effort or activity or agency of a person or thing. It is not regarded as one of his more memorable works. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. The voting process doesn't work as well as people thought. Use or manipulate to one's advantage. She knows how to work the system. Proceed along a path. Work one's way through the crowd. Prepare for crops. Shape, form, or improve a material. Work stone into tools. A place where work is done. He arrived at work early today. Cause to undergo fermentation. The vintner worked the wine in big oak vats. The total output of a writer or artist, or a substantial part of it. Picasso's work can be divided into periods. Give a workout to. My personal trainer works me hard. Go sour or spoil. The wine worked. Activity directed toward making or doing something. She checked several points needing further work. Arrive at a certain condition through repeated motion. The stitches of the hem worked loose after she wore the skirt many times. Behave in a certain way when handled. This dough does not work easily. Cause to operate or function. This pilot works the controls. Exert oneself by doing mental or physical work for a purpose or out of necessity. I will work hard to improve my grades. Gratify and charm, usually in order to influence. The political candidate worked the crowds. Move in an agitated manner. His fingers worked with tension. Move into or onto. Work the raisins into the dough. Operate in a certain place, area, or specialty. She works the nightclubs. Operate in or through. Physics. A manifestation of energy. The transfer of energy from one physical system to another expressed as the product of a force and the distance through which it moves a body in the direction of that force. Work equals force times distance. Proceed towards a goal or along a path or through an activity. Work your way through every problem or task. provoke or excite. The rock musician worked the crowd of young girls into a frenzy. Regard something as probable or likely. Make a prediction about. Tell in advance. Be excited or anxious about. Act in advance of. Deal with ahead of time. Realize beforehand. Be a forerunner of or occur earlier than. This composition anticipates Impressionism. Be excited or anxious about. Turn one's interests or expectations towards. Look to the future. Expect or hope for. Be excited or anxious about. Try to locate or discover, or try to establish the existence of. Hold the phone line open. Hold the line on prices. Keep the price of something constant. Be persistent. Refuse to stop. Hold firmly. Hold the phone line open. Retain possession of. Stop and wait, as if awaiting further instructions or developments. Be persistent. Refuse to stop. Hold the phone line open. Please hang on while I get your folder. Fix to. Attach. Any agent that retards or delays or hinders. Lack of normal development of intellectual capacities. A decrease in rate of change. The act of slowing down or falling behind. The extent to which something is delayed or held back. A legally authorized postponement before some obligation must be discharged. Suspension of an ongoing activity. The most direct or specific meaning of a word or expression. The class of objects that an expression refers to. The extension of satellite of Mars is the set containing only Deimos and Phobos. An addition that extends a main building. Amount or degree or range to which something extends. The wire has an extension of 50 feet. An addition to the length of something. The spreading of something, a belief or practice, into new regions. An additional telephone set that is connected to the same telephone line. An educational opportunity provided by colleges and universities to people who are not enrolled as regular students. A string of characters beginning with a period and followed by one or more letters. The optional second part of a PC computer file name. Most applications provide extensions for the files they create. Act of expanding in scope, making more widely available. Extension of the program to all in need. Act of stretching or straightening out a flexed limb. A mutually agreed delay in the date set for the completion of a job or payment of a debt. They applied for an extension of the loan. The ability to raise the working leg high in the air. The dancer was praised for her uncanny extension.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.